Let's start the session. Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Karlekar. On behalf of Guru School, I welcome you all. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, considering it's Friday evening for most of you. I appreciate that. We are having one more introductory session today. Uh, there are two tracks. We are clubbing them together, and these are by far our popular tracks. One track is project management, business analysis, and Scrum. The second track is business analysis, quality assurance, and Scrum. Okay. The entry level, intermediate level will opt for business analysis, quality assurance, and Scrum. And those who are already having some work experience in business analysis would like a career progression will opt for project management, business analysis, and Scrum. So why these two tracks? Well, both these tracks does not require grunt level coding. Easy to learn. Uh, if you are people person, if you have good communication skills, if you think you have a convincing approach, then both these tracks are something you should think of. As I said, they're very popular tracks every year. I mean, at least a couple of hundred students we train and place. And because of the easiness, it is very popular. Now, let me give a backdrop of Guru Schools. Guru School is a modern marketplace in the form of ancient Gurukul. Those who have the Indian heritage might get an idea. The olden days, you had a Gurukul or an ashram where you will go as a fine man and a woman, and they will impart education, ethics, moralities, and you will come as an learned individual. Education is something, it's a strength, and once it comes within you, it always stays forever with you. And the best thing about it is by sharing, it helps grows. So it does not shrink. If you have a knowledge, if you have the wisdom, if you have the education, and when you share with people, you are basically multiplying that effect. So at Gurukul, we bring world-class information technology training experience. This is for people who have a fire in the belly, who wants to either ignite or reignite their career in information technology. Most of these courses will give you a good idea on theoretical as well as practical project experience. For those who wants to reignite, meaning lateral people have some break, especially ladies, marriage, motherhood, and so many other family responsibilities, and then things becomes little dated. So this is a platform by which you're upskilling your skills. So you're learning new things, you're unlearning the dated or the unwanted things, and you're relearning some of the skills which you need to brush up on. Because these are all emerging technologies and the emerging topics you are learning, that's going to help you to get the top dollar for the work which you would be looking to perform in corporate America. Apart from the training, once you are in your fifth and sixth week, you will also be investing good amount of time in creating a reference ready resume preparation. Along with that, the trainers and the talent acquisition team will be helping you towards preparing you for the vendor interviewing, preparing you for the interview coaching, for the end client interview assistance, and after that, the ongoing project support. We have a track record of about 80% of our students. We place them within few months of finishing the program. We also, as a company, give 10% of our gross profit back to various community causes. To give you an example, during COVID-19 outbreak in the last 5.5 months, here in the USA, we have given ration or food to over 12,000 people, along with that, mask and gloves with sanitizers. And in India, over 8,70,000 people, we have given 1 month of ration, gloves, mask, and sanitizers. It's our art of giving. And as we get blessed and as we get more and more people like you who believe in us, trust in us, and seek the training as well as get the job through us, that empowers us, not only empowers us, that empowers them too towards giving it back to the community. After living here for 21 years, I've learned you can't eat money as a food. For food, we all eat the same. Some of our most popular track and the focused areas in terms of training as well as consulting, in no particular order, are as follows: cloud DevOps, primarily on AWS and Azure; big data, various open source products; Python data science; then Java full stack microservices; .NET full stack microservices; robotics process automation using primarily UiPath and Blue Prism as a product. We also have a track for Selenium QA automation. In terms of virtualization, visualization, reporting, we provide training on Tableau and Click. In terms of sales CRM, we provide training for Salesforce administration and Salesforce development. And last but not the least, we have two different tracks which we are clubbing together. That is project management, business analysis, quality assurance, and Scrum. We're also product partner for some of these product companies. Needless to say, uh, during the training, it also enables you towards preparing for the certification for those who are interested. Often, mere certification does not mean nothing, it's just a paper compliance. The primary focus of ours is not only to give you a mere certification, but to ensure you get a job in a corporate America, which is a six-figure salary. But often, once you are certified, that adds feather to your cap. In terms of client preparation or the client which we have, we work with over 20 universities, out of which 17 universities we have a tie-up where we provide them for graduate school for CS and MIS, computer science and masters in information systems, foreign students. So we work with universities in India as well as universities here in the USA for the master's program, along with supplementing them with the graduate school master students. We also help those universities in terms of their website design, development, content development, and we also impart unaccredited training courses for the students, which are similar to this. And you may find some of the students, as and when you were to join this training, they will be also part of this training. Apart from the training, We also offer internships for those students, those who are here on F1 visa. And after finishing their masters, we provide them with the required documentation for their OPT EAD, as well as later on for their visa immigration and permanent residency sponsorship. Um, Projects. Well, we work with various small clients, especially in the tri-state area, hotel, motel, restaurants, uh, doctor's practice, the website design, development, digital marketing. This is the kind of work which we do. Depending upon the contract, some of these projects are made available to you as a part of your learning and giving you a project experience. This also helps you to teach in a real-time project. Now, why we are doing it in a scale? I mean, uh, 2020 is a year we will long remember in our memories. It has brought the global recession. Countries have crippled in terms of the GDP destruction and the economy destruction. Talking about USA, we have almost 50 million job losses in the last 3 quarters. From the best economy, we are heading for minus 25 negative growth of our economy. And along with the USA, all major economies in the world are suffering because of COVID 19. Now, somebody has to help. Uh, People expect whether it's a Trump or Modi will come and help our uh, problems. But I guess if we were to manage our own problems by ourselves, uh, this country or this world will become a better place. So there are few who are able to must rise up to the occasion and must provide the helping hand towards helping the corporate America reduce the unemployment. So far, we have done with about 108 people training in the last 3 months. We have about 630 more registrations, including that of many of you, for this different dozen of courses. And out of the 700 and some, we hope to place a couple of hundred people on the projects by this year end and the remaining people in 2021. Most of these training tracks are about 6 weeks in duration. These training tracks run during weekdays and weekends, 1.5 hours each. If you are looking to have a career and if you are looking to work on your first project through GuruSchools, then this training is free for you. If you just are here to upgrade your skills or to get a training and then use it in your current project or take the benefit from some other agency to get your job, or you were to get a job on your own, then it will cost you $500. But again, as I said, if you're looking to seek training and to work with us, at least for one project, this is a free training. It's our art of giving, and it's our way of investing in people and also helping corporate America. What's our USP or why are we unique? Well, we are unique in a way where many of you must have seen uh, various training companies, and they all are there to take money from you. We take $500 deposit, and it's a fully refundable deposit once we get your job. And that's in writing, which we give it to each and every participant, which means after training, if you get a job through GuruSchools, you get your $500, which is a deposit. Why we are unique? Well, unlike majority of the training companies who are trying to make quick bucks by giving some namesake trainings and throwing some videos and then asking you to do self-learning, At Guru Schools, it's like an ancient Gurukul. We are focused on your holistic well being to make sure you come out victorious, to make sure you get a career guided employment in terms of IT training. And then once you get your real time project experience, it enables you in terms of that self confidence. And also, along with the trainer and our recruiters, you get that much needed preparation in terms of how to answer the vendor interviews, how to crack the client interview, as well as these trainers are in standby mode up to 6 months of your project in giving you project support. As I said, along with theory, you are getting a practical experience. So you're teething in to the real time project. And as most of these training tracks are emerging training tracks, it's definitely going to help you at least make 45 to $60 per hour, which means on an average about 100,000 or a six-figure salary. I see a good number of people joining considering Friday evening. As I said, this is our introductory session or introductory class. It's like a trailer for a movie. It gives you a good overview and should get you a bird eye view to understand what it entails in terms of project management, business analysis, quality assurance, Scrum. And then you can pick whether you want a higher track of project management, business analysis, or Scrum, or you want to take a one notch down, a lower track of business analysis, quality assurance, and Scrum. Um, After the session is done, which will be at least an hour 15-minute session, let me warn you, because they're covering 4 different topics in a fast forward mode. It will also give an opportunity to have a question and answer with the trainer, so don't be shy. Either you can speak your mind, or you could just in a chat section type your question, and I'll be happy to take that question on your behalf. If you're still hesitant, or if any question comes to your mind once we are done with the training session, don't be a stranger. You can always write to us at training@guruschools.com, and our talent acquisition team will get those answers for those questions from the trainers, and we'll be happy to coordinate back to you. Both these training tracks are starting on 12th of October. As I said, 4 days a week, 1.5 hours each. The exact schedule for those who enrolls, they'll get it. So for today, we have 2 experts. I have a pleasure of knowing both of them. Most of our training tracks, you will always see inclusion of both the genders. Reason being, we want to make sure we give you that holistic view in terms of covering by the trainers of both the genders, so that you feel comfortable and you get that much needed help as and when you need it. Once the training started, you'll have a small capsule WhatsApp group. That's your fraternity, brotherhood, sisterhood, and then you'll be able to interact with the trainers, with the fellow students, as well as with the talent acquisition team. So for today, our subject matter experts are Ravindra Pandey and Richa Saxena. Both of them have extensive experience working in project management, business analysis, quality assurance, and Scrum. They have taken various training sessions in the past, and they will continue to do so in the near future also. So without doing any further ado, thank you so much for listening. Housekeeping rule, please mute yourself if you're not talking. And I will give the baton to Ravindra and Richa. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dev, and good evening to all. This is Ravindra Pandey. Just introduction of few lines. I have with 26 plus years of experience. I have grown with various project management technologies, the business analysis. I'm a founder member of Agile India. I'm a founder member of NASCOM India, and various other fraternities. So we are basically grown with this all evolution of project management analysis and overall quality and QA and QC basically. About this training particularly, we are trying to club all the horizontals of the overall project execution, product execution, or service execution methodologies we use in company, be it IT company, be it a manufacturer company, be it any company for that matters. So this track basically kind of overall trying to address the administration overall of a given product, service, or support company for that matter. So this is really important track, and we are trying to club together all the horizontals present in an organization. So this is for everybody, frankly speaking. Means I'll explain it through the slide. Just to introduce my colleague, Richa Saxena has been working with us closely for quite some time. Richa.
Hi, good evening, all.
Great, thanks, Richa. So, she's also, we are working together. We are quite a few, good number of trainers in Gurupool, and we are trying to help really great cause here. Dave is leading our efforts, from New Jersey, and would really love to, associate with all and be nurtured, get the employment, get the, entrepreneurship, whatever you like, and we will be there to support you throughout the interview process, throughout the on-job support as well. So the overall plan of the whole training is not just a ribbon cutting thing. It's basically giving support you throughout your life, throughout our engagement, so that we can really enrich the whole experience, or what you can say, conceive the overall job satisfaction as well. So that's how we look at this training. So we are going to have an introduction session today. We are going to talk about the project management. We are talking about the business analysis. We are talking about the agile, Scrum, then quality and quality control and quality assurance as well. So it's a complete big capsules what we are handling right now. And as they clearly said, these are kind of club tracks together. So this is not a single track, a single methodology or single framework we are talking about. We are talking about a complete bundle of the whole administration which we require in products and services. So without any further delay, I'll start the presentation. If you have any questions, I'll ask I'll ask to clear your doubts in between. So rather than breaking the overall progressive link, let's wait for a couple of minutes, and you'll have the time to ask questions then and there. Okay, so I'll start. So we are going to talk about project management, business analysis, quality assurance, quality control, and Scrum in detail today. I am Ravindra Pandey, and I have Vicha Saxena with me. So overall agenda, as I said, these are like kind of 6 tracks altogether. They have their independence pros, independence cons, and the way they evolve from typical, get the requirement and get it done kind of scenario to actually fulfilling or satisfying customers on the go. Build something which is basically as per the requirement, as per the conformance to the quality control, quality assurance methodologies. Have a good analysis, have a good requirement capture methodologies, build a quality, have a great scrutinized progress throughout the cycle. Then also move it to support. So we are talking about release management. We are talking about online methodologies nowadays, because nowadays we really have everything online. The team is already scattered throughout the globe. So those type of evolution also we'll talking about. So that's overall agenda. I'll move to the next slide. So about target audience, right? So we were thinking on this for quite some time now. We were trying to build a track which is kind of favorite to everybody or supports everybody. So investment or investing in this track is really beneficial for a long term. Believe me, means you perform any role throughout your career, this track is going to help you throughout your life. Be it a project manager, any CXO level person, senior management, business analyst, yes, solution architects, designer, agile implementation and users, developer, be it a team lead, project lead, or offshore coordinator, even QA QC teams, Then we are going to talk about the overall, whatever horizontal we normally have in organizations like project management office, internal quality assurance, auditors, and as well as users. Users in the sense the client or the end users of a product or a service. Nowadays, in agile, we have a fraternity, or we have some processes to get the customer satisfaction to a level where we normally keep asking them about the product, getting their acknowledgement, improving our products as well. Because if you look at the new way of business like Amazon, the online store, Walmart, the way they evolve, this is really a need of the hour. So we are talking about each and every person which would really love to be a part of any IT company or a product or service company. This training is for you, and investment is, I think, it's a kind of need of the hour to upbring yourself to a level where you can really choose for a particular role throughout the gamut of roles available in a given company. So this is basically going to guide you throughout the processes, throughout the construction, development, deployment, testing, and release processes throughout your life, throughout your administration of anything, frankly speaking. Okay, so I'll just move ahead about project management. We all,
Ravindra,
yes,
for some
please.
reason, the slides are not moving. I'm still on page 1. So you may
Oh,
would
sorry.
like to see it.
Could you see now?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll. Uh, okay, could you see now? You're
Yes.
on target audience now. Project management. Could you see the project management slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll do it this way, no problem. So we are talking about history of project management. This training includes the history, not in a great extent, but we'll go throughout the year of progressions, how we moved from a typical waterfall to iterative, rational, unified process, the agile methodology which we use currently, also different aspects of positive or negatives, like how does waterfall exceeds in certain executions today as well. Then what do you mean by iterative, how iterative is helpful, uh, how the rational unified process come up, why they are still used in overall web development methodologies. Agile, we have quite a few flavors in agile. Scrum is the most popular, and I think Richa is going to help us to understand the overall Scrum methodologies what we use today. Then we also go through some supporting tracks called version control management, release management, and how to define smart goals. So this is all about life, as I say, as I see, frankly speaking. So we are trying to understand or evolve with the life, evolve with the overall product creation, service generation, support, building, and those things as well. So we are talking about quite a few number of horizontal tracks throughout the administration of any service, product, or support. I'll move to the next slide. As as I talked about, this is a quite big track. So we'll be helping all the candidates. If you want to do any PMI, PMP certifications, then we are trying to build up some really great open systems tools and techniques which used throughout the organizations, throughout the IT fraternity. We will try to understand them. We try to get a hands-on on them. We try to create some proof of concept with all the best possible tools and techniques. So if you have any particular requirement, we can get it on or get it enabled throughout the overall training. Then of course now everybody is on cloud. We talk about multifaceted deployment, be it mobile, be it a tablet, be it a screen. It's all get basically clubbed to the screens, and we start using it. So enabling crowd is one of the really crucial part of the whole training. Then DevOps, for all project execution we use DevOps today, almost 85-90%. So DevOps is also one of the important cluster of the whole training program. Then we have all work breakdown structure, program breakdown structure, and activity breakdown structures, because this gives you a real and clear and crisp view of how to control, how to manage the overall executions. So that's kind of be an important part of this thing. Then we have task time priorities. I'm a big fan of Microsoft project, and I really evolved with the initial project where there was just a Gantt chart, and then start including the cost measures. They start including the overlapping. They start including the critical task alignment, and so on and so forth. So we have quite a few workshops on building a project plan in our PM track, and Then there we're going to also try other tools which are available in the market, be it open system, be it a paid tool, and they really excelling their overall advantages and disadvantages in a given typical line of execution. So that's also very important for every project manager, or frankly speaking everybody working on a project. You need to understand the plan, you need to understand the progress overall. And yeah, status reporting is my favorite in terms of, because if whatever you're doing, if you can't report it, if you can't get acknowledged, then you're not doing it right. That's how I feel it. So status reporting is really important part, and many of us, basically, believe me, many of us don't give a due importance to this thing. So I would really love to stress this thing: how to status report it, how to report whatever you've done, to when at a beat at a home and you do something, get it reported, get it noticed, bring it on, so that your work is appreciated rather than you're just playing in the background kind of scenario. So this is really important part which I would really love to bring it on. Then we are talking about, yes, PMP is a crucial part. The way PMP is evolved in terms of project management and overall processes. This 9 point PMP manifesto really important. So we're going to talk about the integration management. So integrating every other what I can say element of project together, get it working. Then we have scope management, time management, cost management, of course, quality management, human resource management, communication management, the overall information disbursement, how to control information, how to build or how to move it to the online portal so that every stakeholder can be reported well in advance. It's really important. Risk management really important. Build the risk register, review it periodically, build some internal quality assurance methodology, procurement management, stakeholder management. So all these have really crucial part in every project execution. And if you look at from that angle, it really gives you a clear, crisp view. And that's how it's overall evolved within the matrices, be it a matrix organization or be it a normal procedure organization. If you track these 9 knowledge area, that's how they call it in PMP, PMI. So if you track all these things, your project will not fail, believe me. And we have tried and tested for years together. But yeah, you need to follow it religiously. You need to really understand the different matrices, tracking mechanism, tracking point which we track throughout the project life cycle. So this is really important, and we are going to work on this. If anybody have questions, I'll wait for a minute, and you can speak up and ask your question right now. I'll take it as nobody have any questions, so I'll move on. So then we are talking about agile overall. So agile methodology, why use agile, how we move from agile and ahead on that thing. I'll request Rucha to give us guidance on this, please. Richa, are you there?
Thank you so much, Ravindra ji, for explaining all this in detail. So good evening all once again, and in this we'll try to cover all these stuff, like why we should use agile and how different it is from the waterfall, and what all are the benefits of them. Okay, so like Ravindra ji has already mentioned that there are many flavors of agile. So one of them is extreme programming, and pair programming is Scrum, and so many more are there. But these are the most famous frameworks. So we'll try to explain you all these, and we'll try to get into deep into Scrum and templates which are being used in Scrum and other, and what all these are, and how they work, and what all are the values of the Scrum, and what all are the pillars of the Scrum, and how it works in the IT industry. Okay, so Ravindra ji, can we move on to next slide? Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, so the Agile manifestos. Agile is based on the general human behaviors. They have researched on the general human behavior, and they came up with the Agile and Scrum methodologies. Okay, so their manifestos are, they have some values. They give values to the individuals and interactions. Agile says individual and interactions are more valuable for me over processes and tools. We give value to processes and tools also, but we give more value to individuals and interactions. We give more value to working software over the comprehensive documentation. It's a myth that Agile don't have to have the documentation. It do have, but it's in the less amount. We give more importance to the working software. We give more value to the customer collaboration over the contract negotiation. Agile says will include the customer into the development cycle, will give the continuous feedback from the customer and will work accordingly rather than negotiating on the contract part and wasting our efforts and time. Agile gives more value to the responding to the change. That is the major feature of the Agile, that we give more importance to the responding to the change over following a plan. In Agile, we don't give much value to the plan, but we give value to the change. And these are the values of the Agile, and other principles are also there. As I said, Agile is based on the general human behavior. So human has their own values and their own principles on which they work on. So likewise, Agile also have the values and principles on which it works on. Okay, so its principles, it has 12 principles and 4 values. So we have not mentioned all the 12 principles over here, but few of them are: our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable output. Okay, our principle is to, our main focus is on customer satisfaction. Welcoming changing requirements even late in the development. We do welcome to the requirement changes even in the late of the development cycle. Agile processes harness changes for the customer competitive advantages. Why we do that? For the customer's benefit. So this is the general structure of the Agile, like how we work into Agile. So it's a cycle. We always work into a cycle. It's a continuous repetitive process wherein we have requirement analysis, we have the design and design document and all things, and then we develop it, and then we have the testing on it, and then deploy it on the server. Okay. So this is the continuous process. It's a myth that we don't follow all the SDLC phases in Agile. We do have all the phases of SDLC in Agile as well. But the only difference is in Waterfall, we have it in a longer duration, but in Agile, we have it in a very small duration. But we do follow all the phases of SDLC. It's not like we will skip requirement understanding part or we will skip the design part or anything. It's not like that. We have to have all the phases of SDLC in Agile also. Ravindraji, thank you. So in this, what all things will we are going to cover? We are going to cover Scrum artifacts, what all the artifacts are there. We do have the product backlog index, we do have the product increment at the end of a sprint, and what all things comes under these artifacts, how we prepare it. These things we are going to cover into Scrum artifacts. What is product backlog? Product backlog is the The product backlog is the collection of the entire requirement of the product. Who manages it? The product owner. Who is product owner? The customer or the person who has the idea about the product, who owns the product. He sprint backlog. What is the sprint backlog? The collection of the requirement which we are working. We are going to work on the current sprint. That is the sprint backlog. Who manages it? The product owner and the development team. Product increment. What is the product increment? As we said, we give more value to the working software. So at the agile says at the end of every sprint or at the end of every cycle, we should have something in working condition. So that part of product called the product increment. Product backlog refinement. It's a ceremony. It's very is the most important ceremony. During this ceremony, the product owner gives the walkthrough of the requirement or walkthrough of the idea he is having in his mind to the entire team. Why? To have entire team on the same page. If the development team has any kind of doubt on the requirement, they can get it clear during the product backlog refinement ceremony. We'll go in deep in our training session. It's a big thing. It has so many things within it, so which we will be covering in our training. What is a scaled scrum? In a nutshell, we can say scaled scrum is like we have multiple teams wherein we are getting collaboration with them. It's not just about a single team of 7 to 9 people. It is multiple scrum teams and we are coordinating with them. Scrum events. So what all events are there? Events or ceremonies are there. So there are sprint planning, there are daily scrum, daily stand-up meeting or daily scrum, and sprint review meeting and sprint retrospective meeting, product refinement. So these are the ceremonies of it, and they have their own restricted time slot. They have their own. Ravindraji, go back. I'm not yet finished. So it has their own time slot, particular time slot that for this duration, for that much maximum duration at every ceremony has, and when to conduct those ceremonies, and what all are the agenda of each ceremony. Each ceremony has these three things within it. We'll discuss this in our training. So now we can move on to the next slide. So see, this is the basic structure of a scrum. This is how we demonstrate our scrum or sprint. Okay, so product vision, that is the first thing. That is our product owner's mind. Product owner has something in his mind, and that is the product, and they used to demonstrate it to the entire team, and it has the product vision. Vision is a statement by which we can motivate our team, or we can summarize our product in a very few words. So that is the product vision. Epics, user stories, these things we are not going to cover in today's session. We'll definitely cover this in our training. Okay, so this is how we work. So we have these things, epics and user stories, then we go for the planning meeting, and then we work on it to the implementation part of the user story which we have picked on, and then we have review, and then we have retrospective of the work done which we have in last sprint. Okay, we daily have the daily stand-up meeting, and we have the burn down chart. What is burn down chart? How uh, what is the benefit of burn down chart? These all things we will be covering in our session. So we can move on to the next slide, Ravindraji. So Scrum and Deep Drive. Scrum in a distributed environment, how it works into the multiple team when you have the multiple Scrum team wherein you have to coordinate with them, how you can coordinate with them, what all things we need to do while we have multiple Scrum teams to be coordinated. So these things we are going to cover. Product increment, I have already give you the gist of it. Like at the end of the every sprint we should have some part of the product in working condition. So that is the product increment which we provide, which we give to the product owner or to the customer, and we get the review and retrospective done on the same. Product backlog refinement, scale scrum. User stories, what all are the user stories? User story has its own syntax to write that down. Okay, so we'll explain that also. What is the user story? User story is the smallest part of the requirement which can be work independent. That is a user story, and it has its own syntax to write down. Estimations and how we can estimate things. Uh, what all the methods are available in the methods available and how we can use it. Okay, updates and things within the team. So these all things which we are going to cover within the training session, which we have as said by Devji, which we have on the 12th of October. So we'll be covering these all things during that training. Ravindraji.
Yeah.
So these are the ceremonies: daily scrum, daily sprint backlog. Sprint backlog is the artifact. Sprint review is the ceremony. Sprint retrospective is release planning and definition of done. Most of you have heard about the definition of done. What is definition of done? Definition of done is the selected part of the product backlog which we have which we have selected for the current sprint. They have some acceptance criteria for the bunch of the requirement. Once that acceptance criteria is matched up, we can say that this is the definition of the done, but not only after meeting up the acceptance criteria, but even having the acceptance from the product owner. We can say that these user stories are done. So that is the definition of done. Ravindraji, can we move on?
Yes.
So that's it from my side. Now I'm handing over to Ravindraji. If you have any kind of question, you can ask me. Okay.
I believe we can move on.
Thank you.
Richaji.
Thank you so much, Ravindraji.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Richaji. It was really great. Now you see how the project management is evolved from a typical waterfall or sequential project management to agility, the flexibility of it, the good framework which we build with the artifacts, different way of nomenclature really evolved over the time. Now what also evolved is basically the quality management system, how to build in quality, how to club quality to the best possible scenarios for a given product, services, or support for that matters. So that's how the quality management systems tells us. Normally a QMS is a system which is built in the organizations, within the organization, because these specifically concentrate on various quality policy and quality objectives for a given product, for a given service, or for a given support. Be it something like Amazon, be it something like enterprise rent a car. I am fortunate to work with enterprise rent a car, and they have really good QMS inbuilt within their organization for renting a car, for even doing IT processes, how they've done for a given company, because every company has their uniqueness, has their unique product, has their unique selling USP. That's what we call unique selling product, and we need to build the QMS according to that product, according to that service, according to that support. And that's how this QMS normally evolves throughout the company, with the company, and with the products and services whichever they are applicable to. So defining them, improving them, controlling the overall growth, as well as inducing quality while the progress, reducing the waste. These are really important and crucial parts overall within the project management, but they also have a crucial part in overall our daily life as well, as we can see, right? So we are trying to prevent mistake, we're trying to lower cost, we are trying to facilitate and identify training opportunity within the organization. These are talk about building up the organization horizontally, building up the inbuilt intelligence factor for a given product and services throughout the administration staff, throughout the creative staff, or the on floor staff, throughout the release staff or delivery staff, and the engaging staff as well. So we are trying to address the complete gamut of employees working within given organizations. So setting up an organization-wide quality improvement, it's a big part of QMS. How to improve constantly. Let's take a simple example of Corona epidemic. It forced us to enable or work in segregations, or work in a separate cubicles, work in a separation, frankly speaking. So how to build these things within QMS, so the QMS improvement will apply accordingly, will change our working structure, will improve our working strategies, improve our working floor arrangements as per the next things which comes in hand. So QMS have been improved, QMS have been improved and applied. Be it something like school, college, or universities, we have our QMS and we get flexible with that, we get improvements in that to cope up with the given scenarios. So many of the colleges, universities, they've gone online teaching now, rather than calling the student to college daily and day in and day out. Even for the exams, now we are talking about online exams. So how to build that, how to build it qualitatively, how to build it with a given scenarios and given requirements as well, given law requirement as well. So compliance is also a very crucial part in the QMS. And then we talk about the total quality management. It's really a crucial part. It's really good to read, good to learn, good to understand for your life as well, be it just the employment. So this basically, the quality initiatives gives you the satisfaction of job. Believe me, if you can really understand and if you can really cope up with the compliance, you are there, you're going to excel in your work. That's how I've learned it. I believe, yes. Now, there are two crucial parts in a typical QMS. We talk about quality assurance. This is a kind of proactive quality measures, and then quality control, which is a reactive quality measures. So in quality assurance, we normally try to build a quality or understand it the way we require, the way a given organization requires, the way given university, given college requires. How to build preventive measures, how to build measures which will lead us to a best kind of product, service, or support for given scenarios. So build those quality processes, build the organization quality within these processes, how to cope up with it, how to build a model, how to apply these things throughout the organizations day in, day out, how to build templates. Prevention template is like, these are typically security measures which we talk about. So what are the persons are allowed in a given department, what are persons not allowed, how to give those swipe cards, how to build those nowadays we have NFCs or active RFID scanners, so that we know where everybody is there, how the product is moving, how the overall support is moving, which part of the world is really beneficial for my products or for services, so I can move there and start working there, or helping these guys to build more revenue, good profitability, and so on and so forth. So preventive templates, how to go before we start. Even I'm working with quite a few incubation labs where we build startup, we help startup to enrich their knowledge base, including the legal structure, including the compliance. So these quality assurance inbuilt start from before you actually step up, take the first step. So this is actually a real good importance in the overall executions. And then we also plan a project must do, must don't. So we have a project familiarizations. We have a, this project shouldn't skip the schedule, above this percent, the cost on this percent, what triggers the stoppage of the project or closure of the product, so that we can prevent the losses as well. So quality assurance basically talks about the overall quality measurements as well as the slippages and the cost overruns, how to stop them, how to work within our boundaries, how to build those boundaries. That's what the quality assurance is all about. And then the next one is quality control. This, I believe, quite a few of us are familiar with. We are talking about the unit testing is basically the unique measures on the product floor. So a typical programmer can check his programs for any failure of given scope of work and so on and so forth. So those kind of unit testing. Then we have group, module, and integration testing. So these are basically reactive measures after working or creating a product, and how to check it for a given requirement, for a given set of measures. And we normally have those checklist measures, visual impediments as well, frankly speaking, and we take care of this thing in QC. So there is a checklist came out of it, so we know how the product is compliant with a given requirement. This is really important because QC gives us a satisfaction as a user, so that this product or service has been screened through for the working. So we can be rest assured it will work according to our requirement. This is really important part of our life, day in, day out. Be it something like a mobile phone, be it something like a tablet, how it works, it depends on the QC procedure and the typical brand which we use. Why we choose brand? Because the QC procedures are really stringent, really good. They fall in our sweet spots, and that's how the Apple is really what you can say favorite product of quite a few within our user base. So this is how we achieve our brand. This is how we build our brand as well, through a good stringent QC. And there are various methods and scopes and angles to this. That's all we are going to discuss about in the training. We have how to do internal audit, internal quality assurance, quality control, and how to basically audit the matrices, how to address the cost of quality. What do you mean by cost of quality? Whatever efforts are required, what are the costs are required to build those quality, how to control that. This is all aspects of a quality control, and we're going to study in detail within this training. Anybody has any questions for me at this moment? I believe, is it a Friday evening thing, or I'm explaining it too well? Okay, I'll just move on. Basically, if anybody has, just raise your hand or put in a chat box. We would really love to understand your requirement or your takeaway from this course as well. I'll move to the next slide. Now moving on to other track, really important track, really evolved track, and it's still evolving. We are getting really great amount of tools and techniques in this business analyst. So what is a business analyst? We are talking about analyst, right? So we do analysis every day, be it building coffee, building Java, building tea in the morning, to a night, how to sleep in the best relaxed manner. This is how we analyze our life. This is how we evolve our life. This is how you really go to a level of getting better and better satisfaction, better and better result, better and evolved result as per the given tools and technology. So this is a kind of philosophy overall which we talk about, right? Now, how to implement this within organizations for a product, service, or support. That's what we're going to teach, right? So we're going to implement the overall business analyst and the result implementation within a given process to improve the quality, to improve the cost effectiveness, to improve the return on investment, ROIs for the given business. That's how we do. So this is what we talk about, the analysis and its reporting. There are various tools, and these tools, believe me, evolve over the time. Means in good old days, we used to use something called WordStar. Then we moved to WordPerfect. Then Microsoft Word came. Then Microsoft Excel came. We used to use Lotus as well, for that matters. If there are any senior fellows, they can really understand what I'm talking about. These are the way the tools evolved over the time for the analysis. So we have Excel today. We have really great tools and techniques for stakeholder engagement. We're going to learn that, how to understand and build plan analysis government, the information management overall. This is what we're going to cover in our business analysis track. I'll move on to the next slide. So, sorry. So there are various models which we use, or there are also kind of tools which we follow for doing the best effective business analysis. So there is activity diagram. I think many of us know activity diagram. It's a kind of really good flow charts. Then we have mind map, product roadmaps. We have SWOT analysis. This is really evolved over time, and they have a really great way to apply SWOT analysis for a given product, service, or a support for that matters. Then we have fishbone diagrams, the process flow diagram, and various others visual modeling tools as well. So we're going to understand each and every. We also want to try and do a workshop on quite a few of these for the business analysts, so that they can really go and start working on their actual job. And we do provide support for the actual given tools throughout the on job training, as well as for the interviews as well. So that's how we building this training capsule on business analyst model. I'll move on. Yeah, and there are quite a few inbuilt models or templates which we use throughout these things. So we have workflow diagram, as I talked to you about. There's a pestle analysis. Then we have ER diagram, entity relationship diagram. We have work breakdown structure, activity breakdown structure, module these deep different type of structure which basically enable us to build really great business models. And we have overall other documents and templates which we can implement to our BA, so that it will give you the maximum and efficient output. And we also talk about the BA responsibility, role, scope, what are the overall understanding by the senior management for a given BA, so that whatever we do not step on other shoes as well, because this is what happens in a typical on job on floor working. So that we have to really restrict ourselves by giving whatever you are required or you are responsible to give to the other teams, and they can take it up from there. So those kind of scenario. So we are trying to cover overall quite a good amount of requirement as far as a typical job goes, and this is what the training scope is all about. So we're talking about, like, we have a PM book, we have also have agile extension book for a given BA. So we are going to discuss these things. What are the best practices? What are the different tools which are adapted by the best business analysts in the world? How to cope up with them? How to use some open system tools for your day-to-day practice, and use the company tool for the best output which are given for a given scenario. Those things which we're going to do, study in detail. We do workshop on them. We get our handlers. We do a hand holding for these tools, as well as overall support for on-job criticalness questions and those things as well. So this is basically we're talking about the overall business analysts on the shop floor. Then yeah, this is basically I will just mention a couple of points which are really important or which are a kind of highlights the overall why we implement the business analysis body of language throughout the typical BA life cycle. This is talk about that thing. I'll move on. Then we also have, as I told you, there are various workshops within this training. So we give you a problem, you try to use the tool for a given problem, and at the end of the session, we'll actually build a live project, be it a BA track, be it a agile scrum track, be it overall as a project manager, we're going to execute this workshop with each of you to understand whatever you learn, how to implement what are the tools you are comfortable with, how to build in your notes on a day in day out, so that you can really evolve within your work scope, within your job, on really improve it day in day out, so that whatever training you need, you can come to us. We can really support you throughout on job interview, as well as building these notes or improving your day-to-day life at a given project execution as well, for that matters. Anybody have any questions? I would really love to understand from you those things, please.
Well, some of the people, thanks, Ravindra. Some of the people asked questions. I tried answering when you were giving presentation. As I said, this is an introductory session. for those who joined halfway through or in the middle. Uh, in the interest of time, we fast forwarded in about an hour's time four different skills categories. One, project management. Second, business analysis. Third, quality management systems or quality assurance. And fourth, Scrum. Each of these is a unique skill set in itself, meaning it's a different job in itself. Now, sometimes these roles can be sandwiched. You need a BA Scrum, or you need a PA Scrum, or you need a BA PM, or you need a QA with a BA, right? So we have split this four skills category into different tracks. We have one track which focuses, it's a 6 weeks tracks, which focuses on business analysis, quality assurance, and Scrum. This is for beginner level, entry level people who wants to get into IT and learn it. And then there is a second track where people are already business analyst or quality assurance and they wants to upskill themselves. Then there is a project management, business analysis, and Scrum. As I said, this is just a movie trailer. In a movie trailer, we try to summarize and reflect the cheesy part of what you're getting into once you enroll yourself in a 6 weeks long training. Well, you're going to deep dive in the subject. Needless to say, no one learns these things in a mother's womb. Practice makes you perfect. These are all things which you will be exposed to learning. As I said, it's not only theory, you will be putting these things in a practical usage. Some of you asked about domain. Well, primarily there are four big domains which we focus on. One is BFSI, banking, finance, and insurance. Second is life science, which is primarily pharmaceuticals. Third is healthcare. And the fourth is manufacturing and services. Needless to say, being in New Jersey, telecom is something which we also focus on. So, each one of you will be exposed in the life cycle of this domain and how the work environment is. That's going to help you to understand more of the business side of the functionalities also. Now, as I said, this will be part of your 6 weeks of the coursework. Okay, if we were to put everything in nitty-gritty, believe me, this will become my PhD thesis project.
Right.
But any one of you, any one of you have any questions, by all means ask. You could text or you could speak. If you're shy, if you're not able to speak or text, then you could write to us at training@guruschools.com. Many of you have seen the slides, so training@guruschools.com. You could email it to us, and we'll be more than happy to answer it to you. For those who have missed the training, we will just edit and massage this training video, and then we'll upload it on our website. And if you want it for you or for your friend, please send us an email also, and we can mail it to you too. Okay. So any one of you have any questions, please ask us now. Otherwise, we said it will be an hour, 20-minute session. We will try to summarize it. Well, this prepares you for the track for your business analysis certification, project management certification, Scrum certification. It's also going to help you if you missed the first part of it, vendor interviewing preparation, and client interviewing preparation, ensuring you get a job, and then the project support. All of it, bundled it as a part of the training. If you choose to work with us, at least on one project, it's a free training for you guys. Any queries, drop us an email, training@guruschools.com, and then One of our talent acquisition or HR member will engage with you in a one-on-one conversation and then go from there. It's going to be a 4 week weekdays and weekend session. Typically, this is the time 9 to 10:30. Uh, either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then Sunday becomes a practice session or Saturday becomes a practice session. It will be majority rules. So needless to say, the trainer's availability as well as most of the people's availability, all the sessions will be recorded session. What it means, in case you misses one particular training track, it will be archived, it will be made available to you, so it will be fast forward and you could do the catching up. All of you will be part of a small WhatsApp group which is meant for either the PMBA Scrum track or BAQA Scrum track, and depending upon which track you are in, you will be, having your team members along with you who are taking that particular track, as well as the trainers and the talent acquisition team. Okay, so again, feel free to ask us a question or drop us an email and we'll be more than happy to answer it. Well, paper certification doesn't make any sense. Well, it helps your ego to satisfy. The $1,000,000 question is, can you help us get a job which pays 6-figure? And that's the key thing. Nobody asked, but I'm self-answering that. And the answer is yes. That's what we are focusing on. Okay, so training at GuruSchools.com. Well, we have a 38-member talent acquisition team, and then depending upon the interest, as I said, we have over 600 odd students, so it becomes overwhelming. So we segregate the students, and then we assign them to the talent acquisition team who follows up with them. So at this particular point of time, I don't have the chart in front of me as to who will be assigned where. And that's what I'm saying. Send your queries at training@guruschools.com. And then once you have been assigned to a particular talent acquisition team member, he or she will reach out to you and follow up with you and answer any queries which you may have. Okay. Whatever helps you to prepare yourself to enter in corporate America, we'll be happy to do so within the framework of employment and engagement. So good questions. Well, late boomers, many of you suddenly started texting. It's not only helping you vendor interviewing or client interviewing. As I said, it's a project support. COVID-19 taught us one good thing is everything can be done remote, right? So I understand first project, you may have butterflies in your stomach or you may be a little scared. And that's where the trainer fraternity who has engaged with you during the training will also be available to you to ensure you stay on a project and you continue in your project and you succeed in your career. So up to 6 months of project support is what we give it to you. Because most of these things are mundane. It's like for those who learned cooking will agree and will understand. The initial days can be difficult, but then cooking becomes a mundane task. Okay, nobody learns in mother's womb. If you have appetite to learn, if you have fire in the belly, if you want to have a career, I'm sure you all will do well. Okay, if no questions, well, then thank you, Ravindra and Richa. Thanks for your time. Thank you all of you for joining the session, considering it's Friday late evening. And as I said, training@guruschools.com is the email ID. Feel free to reach out to us for any further queries. And the training track is starting on 12th of October. Okay, once you enroll, you will be getting the schedule. Last but not the least, tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, we have an introductory track on Selenium QA automation. Okay, that track is also starting on 12th of October. We have had the introductory session last week, but for some strange reason, we had quite a number of people who could not join. And in spite of sending them the recorded session, they insisted to have another live session with the trainer, to which we agreed for the request, and we are hosting that session tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So for those who have a QA background, wants to understand what QA automation is or Selenium QA automation is, it's the same link. So you can join the same link tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all I have. So I thank you all for joining in, and enjoy the rest of the evening, and good night.
Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Thank you all.
Great
Thank you,
weekend.
Dev. Thank you, Ravindraji.